Good morning. This is FlynnTalkRadio.com, and we want to welcome you to a special program we're going to be having this morning at 11:45. Of course, you can always pick up FlynnTalkRadio.com programs at your leisure. Today, we're coming to announce a program that's going to be going on this weekend, starting on the 17th, tomorrow. That's going to be on Friday, and it'll be going on and extending itself from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm very happy to have with me three guests. One of them is well-known activist in the community, Ms. E.L. Deloney. And next to her is Ms. Elder Sarah Bailey. I'm glad to meet you. I haven't met you before, but I'm glad to meet you this morning.
Glad to be here.
And someone I do well know because she has her own program called Satora's Corner and History Corner. Is that right?
That's Catherine Williams. I'm just the co-host, okay. Catherine Blake.
And Catherine Blake is the other guest this morning. Good to have all three of you here.
Thank you.
And I want to welcome you to FlynnTalkRadio.com. Don't make yourselves strangers here in the studio. You're always welcome here.
Thank you.
We're coming this morning to announce a program that's going to be going on starting tomorrow. It's Race and Reconciliation, a community-wide conversation. So why don't we start with you, Ms. Deloney, and telling us about how this program, I know you're always involved in almost everything going on in the community.
Yes, she is.
So how did this come about in terms of this conversation?
Actually, it came about, if you remember all the upsetness and all the discomfort people had when they talked about racism during the campaign. Then the president-elect, gave a speech on racism and asked that the United States have a conversation on race. Last year in November, Ann Arbor, Washtenaw County, had their first one, and we joined with the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, to have Ms. Tutu there. And it was such a wonderful experience for CBOP because we participated and stayed the whole weekend to be part of it. We decided that we would want to bring it to Flint, to be the second in the state to conduct this conversation on race. And that is how we got here. We talked with Ms. Tutu at that time, got a firm commitment that she'd be here, these dates this year, and she's coming.
Okay. Your organization is called what?
This is a community-based organization partners. We call it CBOP.
CBOP. And your specific organization is the one that you
that I work in?
That you work in?
I work for Flint Odyssey House, and I direct the Health Awareness Center.
Okay. Are they involved in this program?
Yes, I totally with me. I'm the lead person on it.
Okay. We have two other ladies here, too. I want you to tell me what organization you're coming a representative of or just coming as individuals to support this project.
As a member of CBOP, I'm with Bridges into the Future, which is a research, intervention, and prevention company here in the city of Flint. We are the first two African-American women in the country to actually own a research company. And we have been involved with community-based organizations partnership since, I believe it was last year, and got involved with Mrs. Deloney in reference to race and reconciliation workshop, and felt that it was something that is definitely needed with all of the media going on at this time with our country, with race and religion, and we're fighting one with another. This is the most perfect time for us to be sitting down and dialoguing with one another about what we need to do in order to come together as a community.
Okay, that's fair enough. Ms. Blake, how are you involved in this project?
Well, I am representing the Mid-Michigan District Women's Missionary Society for the CME Church, and that is the faith-based organization with CBOP for the CME Church.
Okay, why don't we mention all the stakeholders, because there's a lot of people that sponsor this event.
I think what I don't know we made clear is that Community-Based Organization Partners, CBOP, is an organization of community-based organizations. And our first forte is research, community-based participatory research. We were in the groundbreaking forum of getting community involved in research.
I see. Are these the organizations that are part of that?
No, these are organizations that sponsor. Some of them are CBOP organizations also, but others are people like that are not, but because we partner with the University of Michigan School of Public Health. So you see a lot of Michigan there, and we see also with the University of Michigan Flint, research partners. So you see most of those people, that the other people are people who support our work.
Okay. I want to mention their names because I want to make sure everybody gets credit.
That
Everyone likes credit in terms
Amen.
Amen. Yes.
because they're doing good work, and we need to kind of be aware that when we are doing positive things, we want to, in fact, let persons know.
Right.
Don't have that light on the bushel
And
basket.
we really want you to say their names so they can hear it.
So they can hear it also. Okay,
Yes.
we'll make sure we announce all of the co-sponsors of the program. What I have listed here, and you can add anything that's not on the list, is Bethel United Methodist Church, Bridges into the Future, Community Foundation of Greater Flint, Flint Human Relations Commission, the Genesee County Community Action Resource Department, Insight Institute of Neurosurgery and Neuroscience, Michigan Institute for Clinical and Health Research, Prevention Research Center of Michigan, Raise It Up, Youth Arts and Awareness, Sanders Elegant Catering, the Total Foot and Ankle Clinic, Trinity United Presbyterian Church, University of Michigan Flint, University of Michigan Educational Opportunities Initiatives. That's I know that organization very well. That's Kendaji Ganges.
Yes.
I better mention his name because he'll get me if I don't mention that. University of Michigan Office of Community-Based Public Health, and of course Woodside Church, another activist agency and church service in the city of Flint.
I think what's missing on there is
Democratic Black Caucus.
Democratic Black Caucus.
Well, it's the Genesee County Democratic Party Black Caucus.
Okay. So that's everybody that's going to be involved in this program. I want you to be involved in it as well, those of you in the listening audience. So you have Miss Nontomi Tutu as your guest. Now, she's going to be at all the programs, or she's just going to be presenting
she will be there Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. So what's happening on these 3 days? And I just want to tell the audience that there are 3 programs, and I want to specify when they're going to take place and what will be taking place at those particular programs. The first one is going to be tomorrow on the 17th. There's a film called Long Night's Journey into Day. The moderator is Miss Ella Green Moulton, and it looks like we're going to have, what is that, a co-moderator, Miss Molly Dwyer White.
Yes.
Okay, and it's going to take place at the at 4800 South Saginaw Street.
Yes, that's the neurosurgery and neuroscience company. It's on the corner of South Saginaw Street at Hemp Hill Road. And you must enter from Hemp Hill Road. That's where the doors are. And most people think it's where it's Bonaparte. Nope, it's on the other side.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. I was coming to your building.
That's right.
When I saw Saginaw, I said, okay, Saginaw Street. I know where that's located.
Yes.
South Saginaw and Hemp Hill Road.
So 4800 South Saginaw Street. And they're showing the film, Long Night's Journey into Day. How long is that film? Do you have an idea how long the film is?
It's actually 94 minutes. And what we will do, hopefully, we had planned to show the whole film. We will look at the audience, see how they're affected and how they want to get involved in the discussion. And if they want longer discussion, and we have excerpts. We can also we have places where we can have excerpts. So the plan is the full movie film, but we may shorten it depending on what the audience want to get into as discussion.
Let me tell
There
the
will
audience.
also be tomorrow a panel discussion as well.
A panel discussion. Is that after the film is
Yes,
over?
after the film.
Yes.
Let me tell the audience something that I noticed when I came to the studio this morning. We were supposed to start at 11:45. I got here about 10 minutes before, and I'm thinking to myself that we'll probably have our guests showing up at 11:45 when we're supposed to start. I got here and they're already at the table ready to go. So now that's to say that when they say they're going to start at 6 o'clock, I would strongly suggest that you not come in at 6:05 or 6:10. I think they're pretty serious here.
Yes.
So
On time.
so that's going to be the starting time tomorrow at 6. Let's go to the other programs you're going to have as well. That's going to be tomorrow at 4800 South Saginaw Street. We're going to show the film called Long Night's Journey in the Day, and the starting time is 6 p.m. On the 18th, you have an invitation only. That's what I want to ask you about. You said invitation only for this particular program, although it's free. So what does that mean?
In order for people to attend that, we sent out on the internet the invitation only and told them where to call. They had to complete an application to let us know well, their interests, what they want to do, how they want to work in the future, what their commitment to reducing racism and disparities. We only were taking 20 people. We got quite far more than that. So we tried to mix it between very young, middle, and elderly.
I see.
And so to get that 20. But from 1 to 3, those first people will be trained by Ms. Tutu herself.
Mm-hmm.
The ones from 1 to 3 will be trained by the newly facilitators with Mrs. Tutu facilitating the facilitators.
Okay.
She will be observing and pointing out pointers and get them to go so that we be ready for dialogues, what we want to do here.
So they'll be facilitating the conversation later on that day.
From 1 to 3. From 9 to 11, Ms. Tutu will be training
them.
And then from 1 to 3, they'll be training others that can become
I see.
part of the dialogue.
Okay. And you have all the person that you want right now, since this is invitation only.
We do, but we can consider. If somebody want to do it, just see that cpyd@aol.com.
Okay.
And I will see what we can do.
Okay, so on the 18th, what we have here is invitation only program from 1 o'clock to 3. You can contact, here's the contact information on the internet. It's cpyd2@aol.com.
No
Is that
two,
correct?
I don't know what that
Is that 2 is out of there?
That shouldn't be in there.
Okay, so what they had on this, I got this
Oh,
off
how they
here.
got it to me? Yeah, I saw
Okay.
it myself. It was too late.
Yeah, okay, CPY, let me say that again then for the listeners, cpyd@aol.com. And that's from 1 o'clock to 3, and then at 6 o'clock, we're going to have the program called, is that right? At 6 o'clock, going to have the program called Community-Wide Conversation on Race with Ms. Tutu, with Dr. Lee Bell as the moderator, and that's going to be at the University of Michigan in the Flint,
Michigan
in
rooms.
the Michigan rooms at the University of Michigan, Flint. I have to be there because I think the dean will probably be there taking roll. So I've got to show up on two different
Especially
reasons.
since they are one of the sponsors.
Yes.
And they're one of the sponsors. So I have to be back in town by 4 o'clock in the afternoon and be there at 6. And that's going to be Miss Tutu. I looked up some information about her, and I was trying to figure out what was her resume. Is she still at, I think she's teaching at Fish University?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was very impressed with the fact that she was the founder of the Tutu Foundation in 1985 and was the chairperson of that organization from 1985 to 1990.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so she is a force to be reckoned with and a keynote speaker around the nation. And working at one of my favorite schools, Fish University, which was a rival school when I was in college at Knoxville. And so she's at Fish University and is internationally renowned. If you want to take part in a worthy event and listen to a keynote, and I mean a keynote presenter, you can't get any better than this. A person that's a international scholar, international acclaim, got a honorary degree, doctorate degree from a university in the University of Oregon in Nigeria in 1985 for work in helping refugees who were in fact fleeing from the apartheid in South Africa during that time period. So we really have a very unique guest visiting Flint and want you to make sure you take part in that. That's going to be 6 o'clock tomorrow evening in the community-wide conversation on race with Ms. Tutu. Closing out the ceremony will be on
But I probably share with them that after that wonderful delivery, they can mingle with her and other guests because we're going to have reception immediately following the program.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever? I know you've been to South Africa a couple of times.
Yes.
Have you met Ms. Tutu before?
I have met her. I met her father. I've been all through her home and all of the rooms where they slept in. I've seen all those kinds of things. I've shared that with us when we were talking last year.
Yes, because I understand you've been to South Africa a couple of times.
Yes, the first time I was there was the World Conference Against Racism, where the United States pulled out and caused a lot of
international outcry.
International outcries. Great way to put it.
Outrage.
Yes, I saw out of 190 countries, at least 10 or 15 had a demonstration each day because America walked out and didn't want to equate what they had done to the Africans as inhumane and what's going on between the Palestinians and Israel as Zionism. So they didn't, and people just really, out of that country was a lot of dissension.
Now, that wasn't in Durham, was it?
It was in Durham.
It was in Durham,
Mhm,
yes.
mhm.
I was in South Africa in 2007, and I plan to go back to South Africa this coming summer.
Yeah, she goes, she
And-
takes trips every year, so you can go with her. One of my friends, we just up and go out to Africa all the time, as you might know. But just two of us, when I was panelists on the board, Mrs. Helen Harris and I were there alone, two elderly women. They just knew a lot of people with us, but it was such a refreshing experience. But I always say that we need to take our children at least once to Africa, don't care which part of it.
Without a doubt. And come back and see what you can do to make your statement about the improvement of the world conditions. This conference is going to do some of that as well. The closing ceremony is going to be the celebration of community at Trinity United Presbyterian Church.
Yes, on Linden Road. Reverend Offings is a member of our planning committee. He's been working, and Reverend Duncan.
Annie Duncan.
Annie Duncan is the other pastor there. And they have been on the committee. They have been working with us. It's just been a wonderful new relationship for me and probably overall for CBOB, but some of the members are very familiar with some of them part of that congregation.
Is that 5151 Lennon Road?
Yes, it is.
Going toward the valley?
Yes.
Close to the...
It's right behind Coles.
Right behind Coles?
Yeah.
Okay. And I plan to be at that program as well. Okay, outside of helping sponsor it, let me ask the Ms. Blake and Ms. Bailey, let me ask you, what other role are you playing except just pushing it right into the forefront? You're playing that important role of helping organize it.
Yes.
Are you doing anything else that will be going on during the program?
I'll be there. The gopher, whatever. The
They've
in
been
between.
part of the planning committee and have been
Part of the planning
strategizing
committee,
and all that.
strategizing.
We've both been part of the planning committee, and we're just there to assist and to help host the scene and just doing whatever is necessary.
Bringing young
Yes.
folk to get involved in them. In fact, we got young people, an adult and a young person carrying out all the responsibilities. We're trying to train our next generation. We want the intergenerational, and we didn't want young people under 13 coming to the film tomorrow due to the nature of the film.
Okay.
So we're asking parents not to bring them. If the parents bring them, we won't let them in. But we're saying that we would like to keep it 14 and up, at least 13 and up.
Okay. I know when Ms. Blake said the gopher, I know that role very well because that's the role I play at the university. I'm the least senior person in my department. The gopher is go for the sandwiches, go for the donut, and then go back for the coffee. But that's an important role, and
Yes,
I'm
it
glad
is.
to see
Very
you
important.
involved on that level.
Although that's not her. She's a secretary of CBOB.
Yeah, Miss Blake is known for modesty.
Yeah, she is.
So the program is going to start tomorrow at 6 p.m. and you're going to be showing the film. This film, this film is one you recommend for those who somewhat of age. If they're under a certain age, you want the parents to accompany them. Is that because of the? I mean, this is not an X-rated film. Is it because of the violence in the film, or
It's the graphic nature.
the graphic nature of the
The
film?
graphic nature of the film, and this is true. You know, they sometimes take fiction and make it true.
Mhm.
This is true.
This is
is
true.
really true, and it's that the only reason they could have reconciliation. South Africa had to admit they had a problem.
Mhm.
So the people going for prison or being killed or starting to rot, they had to tell the truth.
Mhm.
And some of the truth is gruesome. Some of the stuff will let you know there's got to be a higher power for anybody to forgive the people who had done atrocities on them.
Mhm.
And it teaches you a lesson about your spirituality. And you ask yourself the question, could I have done that?
Yes,
You know?
I think that this is really good to have Ms. Tutu as one of the as the keynote presenter, because when I was in South Africa, I saw that reconciliation museum. That is truly awesome. Was that in Copenhagen? Was that in?
No, it's
in
in
Pretoria?
Johannesburg.
It's Johannesburg.
But what he's sharing with you probably is how he emotionally got attached. I never have been through it, and I've been there 3 times and tried to go through the trip.
Mhm.
And in Soweto for the young people, I've never been able to go through the whole museum to this day.
Is that right?
It just
Is there
it just
something-
gets you. I mean, it's like you feel the spirit of the people in
Yes,
there.
you do.
And after you start feeling that so much, you have to get out of there. I personally had to get out there each time. So next time I'll try to take me to the end and then you work back.
Yeah, and the reconciliation is, first of all, admitting to the problem so that it can be dialogued over, and then you can get past it by the fact that there's a place for reconciliation through the dialogue you're gonna have, but take ownership of the problem as they did there. So I think it's something to be learned here.
What literally needs to really be learned, and why we have these dialects and we'll have dialogues, until America admits we have a problem of racism, we cannot start being cured.
Mm-hmm.
America wants to deny and put our heads in the sand. Racism is in the fabric of our country.
Mm-hmm.
If it disappeared tomorrow, it would still be here. So we have to work to reduce the effects of it negatively and work toward that. It's not a destination, it's a journey.
Okay. Who would you like to see? I know you said bring some of the youth from different schools and have them participating. Who would you like to see at this conference in terms of the racial makeup of the group?
I want as diverse as possible. I want the leaders here, the power brokers, the people who have the power to make the changes, the leaders of organizations who can change internally. We also sponsor Undoing Racism and the Middle Passage. We have a continuum that how we work to try to address these problems. And when they first asked me to become part of it in 1990, I had said, for what? Our community didn't start it. We can't do anything about it. We've got to succeed in spite of it. Why am I going to waste my time at this table? But I must say, 20 years later, the makeup of the people who were there, Miss Ada Brown, who's no longer here, was the assistant at the health department, who knew individuals what they could bring to the table. Just pulled us there, screaming and hollering, because I was warned. I didn't want to be there. But I must say, over the years, I have been helped so much. When I went there, I was as prejudiced. It was so you could cut it with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can say I have come so far, because when I first went there, my philosophy was there's no distinction between my destiny and another African American. Over the years, I've begun to say there's no distinction between my destiny and another human being.
Okay.
That's growth. But you're still on a journey, because you see rooster nights, you got to work back up the next day, or some of those atrocities. And that is, you're going to go back on these things tomorrow night. You're going to go back on. You just have to say, I'm working out of the next day.
Okay. So it's open to all people? And
all people.
Want a diverse group there to
very diverse
at these three programs. You're ending, you're starting the program with the film, and you're ending it at the church. I have some understandings of what Trinity United Presbyterian Church does. It seems like it is a community-focused group as well.
It's a diverse group.
And diverse
membership. And that's why we selected it. We wanted, when we were planning, we said we want a church that's already integrated, that can add more people. If people bring their friend in Ann Arbor, Washington County last year, it was that second generation church. It was packed. And that was the first time I've seen every ethnic group that's listed on the census tract in one building at one time. Mm-hmm. It was wonderful. And they didn't change their service, just added her as a speaker. And then we had refreshments after, the same protocol we're going to use this time.
Okay. There you have it. We want to have all of you come and partake of the program, Race and Reconciliation, a community-wide conversation, starting tomorrow at 6 o'clock. That's going to be held at 4800 South Saginaw Street, and they're going to be showing a film called Long Night's Journey into Day. The moderator is Miss Ella Green Moulton and Miss Molly Dwyer White. On Saturday, from 1 o'clock to 3, there's going to be an invitation-only workshop, more or less, and
it's a training session.
And going to have the program open to the community at 6 o'clock on Saturday. That's the community-wide conversation on race with Miss Nontomi Tutu. The moderator will be Dr. Lee Bell, and it's going to be held in the University of Michigan Flint, Michigan Rooms. Want to see you there at that program as well. And then Sunday, the culminating event is going to be the celebration of community at Trinity United Presbyterian Church, 5151 Lennon Road. That's in Flint. And Miss Nontomi Tutu will be the speaker at that program at 10:30 Sunday morning.
I think we'd like to make sure we added that is Archbishop Desmond Tutu's third daughter. When they have three daughters, and the third daughter who's taken the reign and going with the work that he has been doing all over the world. We call her the citizen of the world.
Citizen of the world. Desmond Tutu, who got a Nobel Peace Prize in 1984. This was 2 years before the great Wole Soyinka got the Nobel Peace Prize in Literature in 1986. So this is some big stuff here, and I'm glad you're bringing this marvelous presenter and outstanding international citizen. You know, it's a global. We talking about the global village now.
Yes, Global Village. Yes.
And to have her as a speaker, this is going to be a big event for this weekend in the city of Flint. Want to thank the ladies. Are there any parting comments here that you want to, anything you want to add before?
No, we're just looking for everyone that will to come out
Okay.
and support this, and you will be inspired, and you will be encouraged to make forward progress.
And hopefully join us in our continued fight in reducing health and racial disparities.
Amen.
Okay, and the panelists you're going to meet at the programs will be not only the person we've already mentioned, but also in addition to those persons, you'll see Mrs. Helen Harris, Reverend Jim Ofrink, is that correct?
Yes.
Reverend Deborah Collier, Dr. Donald Breen, Mr. Steve Walker, Miss, and my glasses here need to be clean, Miss Muna
Muna
Jundi.
Jundi.
Okay. Miss Cleora McGee and Dr. Hector Garcia, and last but not least, Mr. Andrew Jackson. So want to see you there at all three of the programs. Don't forget the first program starts tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I'm going to be showing a film called Long Night's Journey Today, and it's going to be held at 4800 South Saginaw Street. Ladies, we're glad to have you in the studio, and thank you for coming and taking your time to announce an important event. This
And
is really
thank you
gonna be a great
so very much
program.
for allowing us to be here. We really appreciate
It's
it.
always an honor.
Yes, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank the viewers for tuning in, and don't forget the programs this weekend. Partake of these programs, and we're going to have Race and Reconciliation, a community-wide conversation this weekend here in Flint. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you real soon. Until that time, don't forget, as we always say here, follow your dreams, because if you don't follow your dreams, you'll never know what's on the other side of the rainbow.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.